His name was Elias, not a firefighter, not a cop, not a hero type. He was the night janitor of an old apartment building, quiet, almost invisible. He cleaned stairwells, replaced burnt-out bulbs, and fixed small things nobody thanked him for. Most residents didn't even know his last name. Some barely knew his first. Elias lived in a small storage room behind the maintenance closet. He ate alone. He worked alone. He kept his head down. And that morning, as he rolled a trash cart toward the back exit, he had no idea this would be the day that rewrote his entire life. At around 7 a.m., Elias heard something that didn't belong in a normal morning routine, a faint crackling sound. Then a smell, sharp, chemical, wrong, burning plastic. He looked up and saw it, dark smoke leaking from a third-floor window. At first, people didn't move. They stared like it was someone else's problem. Then the shouting started. "Fire! Call 911! Where are my keys?" Doors slammed open. Footsteps pounded the stairs. Kids cried. Someone tried to run back inside for documents. And then the worst detail revealed itself. The fire spread into the stairwell corridor, the one escape route everyone depended on. The alarm stuttered on too late. The hallway filled with smoke so thick it turned light into fog. Elias stood at the bottom of the stairs, holding a broom in one hand, watching the building become a trap in real time. While people pushed outside, Elias heard a sound that froze him, a child coughing. He looked up and saw them on a fourth-floor balcony, a young mother holding a little boy against her chest, both of them gasping. Next to her was an elderly neighbor, barely able to stand. Someone rushing past Elias grabbed his arm and shouted, "Don't go up there! That smoke will kill you!" And Elias could have listened. He could have stepped outside, taken a deep breath, and told himself, "I'm not trained for this." No one would blame him. But as he watched the child's head slump against his mother's shoulder, a different thought took over. If I walk away now, can I live with myself tomorrow? His body wanted survival. His conscience wanted action. He swallowed hard, eyes burning from the smoke already creeping down. Then he made a decision that didn't feel brave. It felt terrifying. He said, louder than he meant to, "I need a blanket, a rope, anything." Elias didn't have equipment. No oxygen mask, no training, no protective gear. He ran to the maintenance closet and grabbed a thick moving blanket, a short utility rope, an old fire extinguisher that looked half-used, and a large cloth which he soaked in water and tied over his mouth and nose. He dropped low and entered the stairwell. Smoke was a living thing, pushing, expanding, swallowing. He stayed near the floor, one hand on the railing, counting doors as he climbed. On the second floor, he heard banging from inside an apartment. Someone trapped. A young man's voice, panicked and blind in the smoke. Elias stopped, and here came the painful math. If he helps this person, he loses time for the child upstairs. If he doesn't, someone might die behind that door. He forced the door open just enough, grabbed the man's sleeve and shouted, "Stay low, hold on to me, don't breathe deep." He guided him down a flight until other neighbors pulled the man outside. Elias didn't celebrate. He turned back into the smoke. By the third floor, flames licked the hallway edges. He sprayed the extinguisher in short bursts, just enough to create a temporary path. He reached the fourth-floor balcony. The mother's eyes widened like she couldn't believe anyone came back. The elderly woman was shaking, sitting down because her legs wouldn't cooperate. The mother rasped, "We can't use the stairs. It's all smoke." Elias looked down from the balcony. It was high. It was dangerous, but waiting was worse. He tied the rope around the balcony railing, then around the moving blanket, making a crude harness. He leaned over and yelled down to the crowd, "Two people, hold the rope. Don't let go." Some stepped back in fear. Two men stepped forward anyway and wrapped their hands around the rope. Elias secured the elderly woman first. She cried, "Please, don't leave me." Elias said quietly, as if making a promise to himself, "I won't." He guided her over the edge, lowering her inch by inch, his arms shaking, palms burning from friction. She made it to the ground, safe. Now it was the mother and the child, and the mother refused to go first. She shook her head, coughing, pressing her son tighter. "If I go, he'll panic." Elias saw what she couldn't say out loud. She was afraid he wouldn't survive the next minute of smoke. So Elias chose the hardest last option. He said, "Give me your son. I'll lower him with me. Then you come right after. No space, no delay." That meant Elias would take the most fragile life with him, with no guarantee his grip would hold. Elias took the child gently, wrapping the wet cloth around both of their faces. The child's eyes fluttered, barely open. He stepped onto the balcony edge and began to descend. Halfway down, his foot slipped. The rope snapped tight. The crowd screamed. Elias's whole body jolted, and for one terrifying second, he felt the weight of 2 lives in his hands. He didn't think about falling. He didn't think about headlines. He pulled the child closer, like the instinct to protect was stronger than gravity, and he kept going, down, down. When his feet finally hit the ground, someone rushed in and took the child, shouting for an ambulance. The mother came down next, coughing, shaking, but alive. The moment she reached the ground, she didn't run. She collapsed to her knees and hugged her son like she was trying to stitch his breath back into him. That was the moment the fire trucks arrived. Sirens, lights, professionals. But everyone there knew the truth. The most important rescue had already happened because one ordinary person did something extraordinary before help arrived. Elias stood off to the side, trembling, hands black with soot. He didn't look proud. He looked stunned. The elderly woman he saved reached for his hand and whispered, "I thought no one saw me anymore, but you did." The mother approached too, unable to form real words, only broken ones. "Thank you. I don't even know your name." Elias swallowed and said, almost embarrassed by the sound of his own voice, "Elias." Days later, Elias came back to work. Same stairs, same mop bucket, same trash cart. But the building felt different. People who used to walk past him like he was part of the wallpaper stopped to say hello. Kids waved. A neighbor left him a coffee on the maintenance shelf without saying a word. Elias didn't become fearless overnight. He still jumped at loud noises. He still avoided attention. But something inside him had changed. He finally understood the real definition of courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's being afraid, then moving anyway. And real heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they're the quiet, overlooked person who decides that someone else's life is worth more than his own comfort. Because in a disaster, a single minute can decide everything. And on that morning, Elias chose not to look away.